These are your potatoes. For your scallop potato, you gotta have thin slices of that potato, right? Really nice thin slices. See that thickness? I'm going to do the rest and show you what it looks like. And you gotta be careful when you're using that mandolin because it's very, very sharp. When coming down to the last piece, you gotta be careful, right? The mandolin is a very sharp tool. So let me do the rest and I'll show you what they look like and how to put it together. My sliced potatoes, and I have the rest soaking in some water here because I don't want it to go brown. So I'm going to pour back that few slices in here until I'm ready for them. So now I'm going to make that sauce, that cheesy sauce for my scalloped potatoes, and this is how I go about doing it. You're going to add a couple tablespoons of butter to the pot, let it melt. I'm just going to cut it up into some smaller pieces here so it will melt faster. Now when you're holding your handles in your pot, please use a pot holder or something. But my handles are, there's the rubber on it, so it's safe. So as soon as the butter here starts to melt out and you see that bubble that it gives, this is where we're going to start layering our ingredients. So I have pimento pepper, garlic, and an onion. Okay, we're going to add that in first. Let that flavor, that oil, that butter, sorry. Once it starts back to give that strong bubble, we'll add that second ingredient. This is something you have to keep turning because you want it to get evenly distributed and the flavor of that butter. Right, you see how it started back bubbling? Now I will add my garlic. I have my chopped garlic. Everything has to be finely chopped here. And that garlic is going to fragrance up that butter. I can smell it already. Now this is a simple rub alone here by itself. You can rub this on butter, on toast, bread, and it will give it a nice flavor and it will taste delicious. I'm just telling you, you know, as we go along what you can use it for in different ways, right? We have some black pepper that will go in. We have some cayenne pepper that will also go in. As I say, another different flavor for your bread or toast. Now you're going to lower down that heat, because the next ingredient is flour. Okay, so now we're going to turn this into a roux. Right, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of that flour, and we're going to keep stirring it. We're going to keep stirring to let that flour melt out, so it will not be a lumpy consistency. Another 2 tablespoons goes in. Keep your heat on low and do this process. See how it got thickened? And we're going to do another 2 tablespoons. So it's 6 tablespoons altogether that I'm using to make this roux for the scallop potatoes. And now that everything has melted out, just keep smashing it with the back of your spatula to make sure everything is melted out properly. There we go. Right? What we're going to do now is add our liquid, our milk. I'm using Carnation evaporated milk here. Little at a time. And we're going to get it to that liquid consistency. Let that milk heat up, heat through that flour mixture. We'll add the salt after. As I said, keep your heat on low, very low, because we don't want this getting thickened back up on us. And I'm going to use my another pack of milk. And in goes another pack of that milk. You can use cooking cream if you like, right? So let me get this mixed in and I'll show you the end results, because this is what our potatoes, our sliced potatoes, is going to be mixed with before going into that dish. I will add my sprinkle of salt, because remember that cheese is salty too. And give that a mix again. And lastly, we're going to add very fine chopped up celery, or you can use parsley. Whatever you like or whatever you have in hand, this is the point where you're going to add it in. And once this is melted out, that flour and that liquid, that milk is mixed and well incorporated, that cheese is going to go in here. But I need to make sure this flour is all melted out properly first before adding in that cheese. If you want, you can add more milk, because it will get thick with that flour. Now I will add my cheese, since that milk is heat through, and keep that heat on low, little cheese at a time. And give it that mix, just for that cheese to melt and get gooey. And keep turning until you get a nice cheesy consistency. I'm going in with my another set of cheese, finely grated cheese. You can use whatever cheese you like in this. You can use the marble cheese, the mozzarella cheese, 3-in-1 cheese, cheddar cheese. It all depends on what you have at hand. You use what you like. That orange cheese gives it that nice color as well too. If you don't want a white or a creamy color scallop potato and you want it more on the orange side with a little color, you can use that orange cheese. And it's beginning to melt. And you're seeing that consistency, it's starting to get stretchy. So this has a nice consistency for me. I am going to turn off that heat, or you can leave it very, very low for that cheese to continue melting. But I am going to turn it off because my scallop potatoes has to go into the oven anyways. So this is really, really nice for me. A lot of people mix it in with their potatoes, or you can line your dish with your potato and pour little at a time over that potato. So let's see, I'll show you. Now I have drained out my potatoes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I put this together. I have here my dish, and I have here my cheesy sauce for that potato, scallop potato, and I am going to line. Now if you want, you can take this and mix it with the potato in the bowl and just empty it, pour it out. But what I like to do is I'm going to line the bottom of the dish with that potato, sliced potatoes. Right, it doesn't matter however order it goes in, because it is going to melt when it's baking and come together. But I just want to have that first layer of potatoes. And now I'm going to ladle over some of the sauce and continue with that potato. So you see how cheesy the sauce is? I just want to make sure that it gets evenly distributed. And when it's baking, it's going to come together anyway, so that first layer of that cheese goes a long way, and we're going to continue. As I said, you can mix in that cheese sauce with the potatoes and just pour it out on the dish. But I like doing it this way because at least I know how I'm distributing up that sauce. And if you have any leftover potatoes, you can make another one into another dish. So I just drizzle that sauce over that potato. We're going to do another layer of potatoes. So I'm going to continue. I'll show you what it looks like. Now we'll pour more cheese sauce over it. And you can tell this is going to be so delicious. All those different herbs and spices and butter and cheese. Right? So let's just move this aside. And I'll show you edges of your dish. And we're going to sprinkle the top with that cheese. And before adding that sprinkle of cheese, you're going to just pour in some milk again on the top and let it ooze down, right? And now you can sprinkle your shredded cheese or grated cheese to the top. Remember, we don't have to put too much cheese on the top either because the sauce is cheesy. And you see that extra little bit of celery or parsley you have remain, just sprinkle it to the top. Right, now we're going to put this to bake. Now you can put it to bake like this in high heat, 400 degrees, or you can cover it with a foil, which I'm going to be doing, and put it in that oven. Okay, so we're going to cover it with that foil and place it into the oven at 400 and let it bake. Let me give you a closer look. So now I'll show you the other way. This is the cheese sauce, and I will add my potatoes here. We're going to give this a mix. Let all that cheese sauce coat that potato. Right, now that everything has coated nicely, what we're going to do is pour it into here, into the dish, the butter dish. I'm just giving you that second option how you can go about putting this. Let all that cheese sauce get in there, do not let any waste. Nicely. Just level it off. As you can see, I'm not going to add any extra milk to this one because there's a lot of liquid. And we're going to sprinkle our cheese, grated cheese, to the top. And now a sprinkle of that celery or parsley, whatever you have in hand, you can use. Right, and that's it. You can bake this just so, or you can put it in, cover it with that foil and put it to bake. Scalloped potatoes. And it's coming along beautifully. See how the edges is getting that crispy brown golden color? I've just removed the foil paper from on top of it. And my scalloped potatoes have finished. So you're going to be baking it, I tell you, with that foil, and halfway through it, when you see that potato is softened, you're going to take off that foil, and this is what you will get. A whole dish of deliciousness. You're going to set it here, leave it, let it cool on its own, and when it cools, you're going to cut it. This is my extra smaller one. Right, it's going to be cooled on its own as well, and that's it. Easy scallop potatoes, but very, very delicious. Let me give you a closer look to it. When it cuts, I'll show you what it looks inside.